All right. I can see that people are entering. The count is just continuing to grow, so I'm going to give it a quick sec, and we'll kick this webinar off. Maybe 10 more seconds or so as people are streaming into the webinar. Looks like we've got a pretty good group in. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Buelter, CEO of Ascend 360. I'm going to be moderating this webinar today. And I'll tell you, just briefly what we're talking about today is we've got 3 presenters, which is myself, CEO of Ascend 360, Justin Sims, founder of Sync to Sell, and KG from Lightspeed. And we're going to be talking about, well, these 3 technologies are built and designed to help your business sell and sell more with this amazing foundation of point of sale and e-commerce that Lightspeed brings to help you sell online and in store. Then Sync to Sell integrates tightly with Lightspeed that then helps you kind of expand that footprint. And Ascend 360 integrates with Lightspeed, sits in a way next to Sync to Sell to help market to market your business and sell more as well. We're going to go pretty darn fast today. So we're only doing 30 minutes. That means each of us are going to talk for about 8 minutes with a couple questions at the end. So I'm going to hand it right over to KG to talk a little bit about Lightspeed, where it fits in the tech stack, and how it all works. I'll kick it off first just with a quick poll question, which Heather will be throwing up. But it's effectively, are you currently selling in an online marketplace but managing them manually? And I'll give you a few seconds to view this. Poll's still open. Please offer a quick answer. And all right, I think we'll see the answers in just a sec. So KG, I'll hand it to you. Let's kick it off with tell us about Lightspeed.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. All right. So today I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what Lightspeed Retail is as a software. So we can go ahead and just move on to the next slide. Cool. So again, just a brief overview. Lightspeed was originally founded back in 2005. The goal with the actual software was to power small businesses, which are the backbone of the global economy at the end of the day. Lightspeed is essentially a middleware-based omni-channel software that provides an integration, of retail and e-commerce. Right. The aim of this is allowing merchants to seamlessly sell their products in the brick-and-mortar store and online all at the same time, as well as keeping their product information and inventory all in one spot. Right. So along with this, customers can do customer orders synchronized between 2 sales platforms, with retail ultimately being the source of truth for all of their inventory. Right, so go ahead and next slide. All right, so the platform obviously has been growing over the past over a decade now. We do cover most, if not all, verticals that have some sort of inventory in any capacity. We can sell online, in-store, provide payments, and with over 100 supported integrations, there's almost nothing we cannot accomplish for the retail owner. From accounting to time clocks, from loyalty programs to ERPs for larger sized businesses. Okay, move on to the next slide a little bit. All right. All right, so just some little icons here. These are some of the verticals that stand out better than others, which again are displayed here. All of these are our most popular verticals because they focus on inventory. But things to consider are, even if they are 40, 50, 60% inventory with some services, chances are we have some sort of integration or workaround within the actual software itself to make it work for these companies, right? Ones that maybe aren't the best fit are things that are anything food related. So think like expiration dates, table seating, ingredient tracking, things like that, which can actually all be covered by our hospitality product as well. Okay. Next slide. Awesome. And last but not least, like in the coming months, what we'll be doing is expanding the product simplicity by focusing on one product in retail, right? For all retail businesses. The goal is to make the product a no-brainer for not only the owner to choose, but really making it really easy for you as well, the partners, to sell. So thank you all for your time. Really appreciate it. If there's any product-related questions, I'm here to help. So by all means, just send them through in the chat. But other than that, I will be passing it over to Justin.
Thanks, KG. Appreciate it. Hey, everyone. I'm Justin Sims. I'm from Sync2Sell, co-founder. I am also a Lightspeed user. So to kind of bounce off a little bit of what KG said, I switched to Lightspeed for my retail shop in 2016, and we claim it to be the best decision that we ever made at our shop. We went from an old clunky point of sale, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with those. And making that transition allows us to have complete control of our inventory, better connection with our customers, better control of purchase orders, repairs, and everything. So by making that switch, it was just a huge move in the right direction for us. Now, the only thing that we felt it was missing for us was the ability to reach more users and more customers outside of our brick and mortar. We made the switch to Lightspeed Ecom, and that completely fixed that problem. But then we still wanted to reach more people on online marketplaces, and that's where Sync2Sell comes in. And what we do is we allow you to connect your Lightspeed retail inventory to the marketplace of your choice, sync the product information to those marketplaces, help you find better ways to get more items listed, and also sync the orders back into your Lightspeed account, keeping everything organized in one place. A couple slides I'm going to show you real quick. Like I mentioned, you can sync your inventory with the different marketplaces such as Facebook and Instagram, which we just released, Amazon, eBay, and Reverb for music stores. All that customer data that comes over from the marketplaces with orders, it's created in your Lightspeed account just as if the person bought the item in the store. So you get your name, phone number, address, brings up the item right there in your system, and then bulk edit on products. So while Lightspeed allows you to manage your inventory very well, they don't host the fields that are required by marketplaces. So what we allow you to do is to be able to completely edit all that information in bulk in a matter of seconds, what would take you hours to do on marketplaces. The median return for investment for a Sync2Sell user is 2,400%. It sounds a little silly to say that number, but that is the number. Obviously, what you put into it and the amount of products you have can affect your business, but we tend to see a dramatic increase in sales for those that get more and more items listed. Also, within our system, we have this Sync2Sell Chrome extension, which allows you to manage everything inside your Lightspeed account, so you don't actually have to go to the different marketplaces, which I'll show you here in a second. And then here's a little quick view of that extension and some of the marketplaces that we integrate with. Now I'm going to come over to my Sync2Sell account and give you a quick demo of this. So like I mentioned, the ability to bulk edit items and run some certain reports that you don't usually have in Lightspeed. And so what's really cool about this is, while the goal is to get more items listed on marketplaces, it ultimately helps your Lightspeed Ecom website. So I can take a look at this, which is my live shop here, and obviously in the music industry. I could take this and run a report and filter down by category or brand and say, let me see all the items in my Lightspeed Ecom shop that are missing a description. Within a couple of seconds, boom, there I've got these items. I can then go to these items, edit in that description right there on Lightspeed Ecom, and then that item can post. I can run this same report for image missing, UPC missing, and so on. And it just gives you complete control over your inventory that you're usually not going to have. So instead of your employees scrolling through your website and wondering which items are missing descriptions, you just run this report, shows it to you right there, and you're good to go. My employees are on this every day. Our photographers use it every day. They walk in, run the report. Let me see all our electric guitars with no image. they pull up the item. You can actually even click that and then upload your image in Sync to Sell, which will then write it right back into Lightspeed Retail. Well, there's a lot of things that you can do within the system. One of my favorite ones is the market error report. Specifically for eBay and Amazon, places like Reverb are not too difficult to list to. But for eBay, there's tons of eBay item specifics that are required. And while you may have a photo, an image, or a description and a SKU to post, then eBay may still block that item if you don't fill in certain requirements of theirs that ultimately help customers find your products better. So what we show you here is a real-time look at the errors eBay is giving you. You can quickly click any of these, go to that item, select an item's type, hit save, and then that item can post. So just adding that control to your inventory without ever actually having to go to eBay. You can also edit these in bulk. So if you see a collection of, say, books, and you want to filter those down by books, and then select all, type workbook, publish, and then they're good to go. Running that same report for Amazon as well. Then you have the ability to do some automation on those types within the integration that really help you. Now going over to Lightspeed, if a lot of you might be familiar with Lightspeed, if you're not, I highly recommend it. As you can see right there, here it is quite a simple looking and easy to use platform. So what we've done is so I'm going to pull up this item in my Lightspeed retail account. And if you do use Lightspeed, you'll notice mine's going to look a little bit different than yours. And here I'm going to have a Sync to Sell Chrome extension pop up. This tab right here allows me to have full control over any of my items and their marketplace listings. So if I want to block this item from posting from one of my locations, I can do that here. If I need to change the condition of this item, I can do that. Maybe I want to go to eBay and say, let's have a different shipping profile for this item versus the other items in that category. I have the ability to do that. I can even set a different price on eBay or Amazon or Reverb and so on. So that while maybe I want to sell something for X amount of dollars in store, but raise the price a little bit to accommodate for marketplace fees, I can do that here at the product level. And then any of the information that eBay requires for an item, we're going to show you that based on the item's category within the Chrome extension at the product level. So you have full control here. And then over here, you'll see this Sync to Sell tab that pops up. And what this does, you have the same product list that we looked at earlier, so you can go in and bulk edit everything, run those reports within Lightspeed. I always joke that there's no reason your employees could ever not be working because it's a click away to always be going through it. You can read and reply to Reverb and eBay messages. We don't offer the Amazon messages because it's a little bit messy and they don't tend to encourage too much customer communication. But it's very helpful to have this here, so your employees can just be working in their day-to-day life in Lightspeed Retail, click over to eBay, and reach out to customers. And then you can see all your orders come through from each source. So here it'll show you that what item sold, and just gives you confirmation that the order is synced over. In the event that something didn't sync over, like maybe it was an abandoned old listing you had up from a previous time on eBay or something, we will tell you that, and that way you can go in and quickly build that and then upload it. Myself, like I mentioned, I came over to Lightspeed in 2016, made the move to get things online in 2017. I was having a really hard time trying to manage all this stuff manually, about to lose my mind doing it, as I know a lot of you probably have. And luckily, my co-founder, Greg, he and I worked together to build this based on his legacy system and that he used in his retail business to grow his business. And we built this for a Lightspeed user to not have to juggle a bunch of different confusing platforms. They can maintain things in one place, and all their employees can use it with ease. And by doing this, we went from 0% online business to 50% online business in a matter of 4 or 5 years. And we've seen a lot of that same success for a lot of other shops. So it's been a game changer for us. And then kind of to get ready to pass it over to Scott, using other tools such as like Ascent, it allowed us, while this Sync to Sell allowed us to grow our online business and reach customers we never thought possible, we've now really been able to hammer home those relationships, and especially the ones in our local shop, using Ascent, which he'll give you a quick tour of here. And I am the longtime user of their platform, and it has been an absolute game changer for us. So For now, that'll be it for me, and I'm gonna pass it over to Scott.
Awesome, Justin. That was really cool to see, and really nice to see just the degree to which you guys are tightly integrated into Lightspeed. The Chrome extension is pretty cool. So now we're kind of on the third leg, right? Which is, well, we saw the ecom POS platform. We see how to take that data, push it out to third-party marketplaces, and now we say, well, okay, now there's another integration to then say, well, how do I market to my customers? And so, we'll roll through this pretty quickly also. But Ascend 360 is a customer data platform that allows our clients to send data-driven messages. And the idea is, well, we go integrate data, get the Lightspeed ecom data, get the Lightspeed point of sale data, merge it all together, have a bunch of analytics and segmentation, right? So customers and how much they've spent. Then go send messages. Email is the one we think of most, but we can push out to Facebook or Google or Instagram as well. And then come measure. I sent an email to 5,000 people. What got sold, right? People then click on the email. They click through to your ecom site. They make a purchase, and we want to measure that. So how are the sales going from all of that? And I think the best way to think about what we do is, think about the kind of the typical customer marketing program where, you have someone named Stephanie Wise in your database. Her name, her email is stepho1@email.com. And you've really got thousands of other email addresses. And what do you do with them? You do this batch and blast. You say, well, I'm going to send an email to thousands of people. And this is the message that I'm going to send. And it turns out that really isn't working very well anymore. People want to see relevant communications, right? If you really just send like a whole batch and blast, what we're seeing in retail lately, is something like 13, 15% open rates. Pretty low click-through rates also, because the message ultimately is not well tied to the individual. Imagine instead that you've got Stephanie Wise and you've pulled in all of the data from Lightspeed, and now you also have Stephanie plus those thousands of other, we're going to call them known individuals, right? Why known? Because, well, we know things, right? We know her gender. We know that she last purchased 1 year ago. She lives 8 miles from the store, so pretty close by. Her lifetime spend is $2,800. She's made 12 purchases total, and she was on the website yesterday. And what do we know? Like the last purchase was a diamond pendant from your jewelry store for $846. About 1 year ago on 11/14/2021. And so using all this data, you say, look, I don't want to send a batch and blast. I want to send a personalized and segmented and maybe even, if you will, automated message. So now we have the information to make those personalized messages. And this is the stuff that works. So what we see when we create, if you will, automated messages using data is open rates that are more like 60 to 75%. So a post-purchase thank you email will usually look like 65% open rate. Abandoned cart emails, abandoned browse emails, all of those things really work remarkably well. And once you set one up, you don't need to keep sending it every day, right? The system just automatically sends. If someone makes a purchase, it sends it out. So let's have a quick look at the platform. And the first screen you're looking at right here is where we actually build the audience. So you can see that we have a category in Lightspeed. Those categories are now in Ascent, and we chose the category that equals bike and the transaction date equal to yesterday. And if you say, well, I really want more categories, you just open this up and you say, okay, these are all of the categories that are coming out of our system. And now we really want to create an audience of everybody who bought yesterday. And maybe we also want to add something like, you know, they live close to the store, right? So if we know that our store is in 80401, we can just say we want the radius that is close to 80401. It actually gives you a nice little wizard here. 80401's in Colorado. It's actually in Golden, Colorado, so I choose, that's where our made-up store is. I'm going to choose Golden, and there's my zip code, and I want to say within 35 miles, something like that, and I'll hit save. So now I've got an audience of everyone who bought one of those products yesterday, and I can send them an automated email. And then we've got, you know, the email builders, right? So here we've got a bunch of emails, and I'm going to go edit one of these. So I'll just click on it. This will open up the email editor. I can add images, buttons, video, icons, whatever you might want to add. You could say, well, just pull this down here to add an image. If you want to then browse for images, you'll click to an image library. We also integrate with Lightspeed eCom images. So all the images that are in your Lightspeed eCom system are now here. Oops. And I just say, yep, I like that one. I want to insert it. And there is the image out of Lightspeed eCom. So I didn't even need to pull any of the images over. And I could say, yep, this is in fact the email that I want to send. I could say I want to send this email, and I'm ultimately going to send it to that audience that we just built. That audience we just built, which was, you know, the bike purchasers, right? Those are the people who bought the bike yesterday, and I'm going to want to schedule that thing to go. I'm not going to click through every one of these things, but I want to schedule it to go every single day at, let's call it 9 in the morning. And so now these are getting sent out, and now we can go look at how they're actually doing. And so here we have the post-purchase series, and inside of the post-purchase series, I've got a bunch of emails that have been going out. They've you know, the demo account, but they've generated $1.33 million in revenue. I can, you know, dig into that a little bit more. I can go look at all the, you know, just the ad hoc emails that we've sent over time, and even Facebook and Lightspeed campaigns that have been going out to help understand, you know, how things are working. I also ultimately can just see a lot of data that is coming out of Lightspeed, and it'll tell me that, look, Lightspeed eCom, Lightspeed Retail, both integrated. I'm also getting data from email sign up. I've got 256,000 people in my database, and some of those people are customers, some of them are prospects. How is someone a prospect? Well, the people who just signed up for email sign up are prospects. So let's send them a message that welcomes them. And the customers, let's make them repeat purchasers as well. Okay, so that's probably a pretty good overview. So we'll move to poll question number 2 now. And Heather, if you could push that live. Poll question number 2 is, are you interested in better organizing and enriching your customer data marketing? Yep, now's a good time. No thanks, you know, come, you know, the database is already there, or just check back later. Just get a sense of what you're thinking here. And once, give you a couple seconds, fill all this stuff out, and then we'll move to the next slide. Alrighty, all done. So you know, I think what we did today, and I'm going to move to questions now, and we got 5 minutes left. But you know, what we wanted to show is that, look, there's this really robust, amazing product, Lightspeed. You know, it's been under development for, you know, 18 years now, and allows not only to run your store but also run your e-com presence. But then Lightspeed, you know, actually has 100 integrated platforms. We just talked about 2 today, which is Sync to Sell, which, you know, lets you push that data out to the marketplaces, and Ascent, which helps you market all of that. And we think it's kind of a cool tech stack. All right, so I'll pause there. I think there are some questions, and I'm actually trying to figure out how I read those. Okay. Question for Q&A. Does Pinterest integrate with the program? I'm not sure if that's a question for Justin or myself. So far, Ascent 360 is not integrated with Pinterest. Justin, I don't know if Pinterest has kind of a sales marketplace functionality. Do you know, and have you integrated with it?
We haven't yet. We're constantly kind of we're all ears to see what people are looking for. That has been one that's been mentioned. So if the ability is there, I imagine we will make that move at some point. Obviously, starting with the biggest ones and kind of trickling our way over, things like Google, Etsy, those kind of things are in the forecast, and we're always open for someone to reach out. So eventually it shall happen, we hope.
Yep. Okay, cool. There's another question that says, is there a need to go into e-com to see sales if it's on the prior screen Justin showed in his presentation? And Justin, I think what they're asking is, like, in your platform, there's also sales that are happening in the marketplaces. How exactly does that work?
So yeah, well, some integrations will push orders back to e-com, but we work with users that are retail only or retail and e-com, and so all the orders will come through the Lightspeed retail account. Now, for your Lightspeed e-com orders, while those are still showing there, they are viewable in our extension that I showed on the final slide earlier. So someone could go through and see those, and then we will hopefully, I guess, next month be releasing our ShipStation integration. So if someone uses ShipStation, they can handle all their labels within Sync2Sell, and then that will actually pull their Lightspeed e-com orders into that. So they can create the labels, and the tracking will go straight back to e-com. So hopefully that helps with that question.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And Heather, I think you have the answer to this one, but does Lightspeed integrate with Fair.com marketplace?
Correct. And KG, I believe you're going to answer that. I'll chime in, but that came from you if you want to answer Scott's question.
Yeah, short answer is no, not yet. So that's not in our marketplace. It looks like they have some sort of integration that they might have built because it looks like they're the one that build into other point of sale. So it might be better to reach out to them to access our API.
Awesome. Okay, and then last question, and this one's a little bit complicated. Maybe we have one after that, but the question is, I'm worried about a system that does, quote unquote, everything. What other golf courses use this that I can reference? And added to that, will you be with us directly in the first few days, which I think is like, hey, how do you do implementation? And then does it offer a lottery booking system? I very much know that there are hundreds and hundreds of golf courses. KG, I'll let you handle this one, but I do golf a lot, and I use Lightspeed to book tee times. I'm
not 100% sure. Golf really isn't my forte, so we do have a golf product.
Yep. So
if anything, if it's okay with you, maybe if you could pass your information over to maybe through the chat or to Heather, I could take that one offline and then get back to you on that, just because I'm not 100% sure on the golf product. I'm more focused on the retail side, unfortunately.
Yep. The one thing I do know is that it's, if you will, with golf, you've kind of got the system that manages tee times that integrates tightly with the system that can manage the restaurant at the golf course, with the system that can manage the pro shop. I guess you'd say, well, it is quote unquote one system that does everything, but they really are in a sense, very, very purpose-driven systems, modules that all come together. Okay. Finally, well, there's a few more questions, and we don't have much time. The last one is, does Ascent 360 include automated emails for order confirmation and tracking information? And so the answer to that is typically you want those to actually go out of Lightspeed itself. All of the post-purchase stuff that's marketing oriented, you definitely want to come out of a system like Ascent 360. So the two are in a weird sense kind of tightly integrated from that perspective as well. All right, I actually know that I'm actually 1 minute over now, and guys, I apologize. I thought we were going so fast, but I hope this 30 minutes was really helpful. Hopefully we covered a lot of ground and didn't waste anybody's time. Please shoot us an email. We're all around and available to answer any questions. And if any more come through, we'll shoot you back notes via email. So Justin, KG, thanks so much for joining, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone.